everybody, and welcome back to my virtual classes on women artists. Today we'll be focusing on Alma Thomas, who is an African-American artist. She was born in 1891 in Georgia. She moved up to Washington, D.C. with her family as a teenager and went to Howard University, which is a historically black university in DC. And in 1924 she graduated with a fine arts degree from Howard, and making her the first African-American woman with a fine arts degree, which is awesome. And she continued to make art into her late 80s until 1978 when she died. So Thomas's work was very abstract. She used a painting technique that she kind of created herself. She called it Alma strokes. It's a technique with paint, and she created little rectangles out of paint and put them very close together on her canvases to resemble mosaic. And she focused a lot on nature. She was very inspired by nature, so she did a lot of landscapes and flowers, and she also did these cool things with sort of radiating circles with a lot of different colors, which I will show you in a second. So today's project is inspired by Alma Thomas's work, and we're going to be using construction paper to create collage. Since paint isn't as accessible for everyone, I thought I would use construction paper instead to create a similar style to resemble mosaic. And if you don't know what mosaic is, it's taking little pieces of stone or minerals or anything and sort of putting them into this cement and creating this cool effect. And her paintings really do look a lot like mosaic. I printed out a couple pictures of her work. So as you can see here, she did like a mountainscape and a sunset. And down here she does a lot of work with these kind of circles that I was talking about, and she uses a lot of different colors in various orders and creates these really cool effects. And if you go in really close, you can see those rectangular brush strokes that I was talking about. It's not a solid color each. There's a little rectangle, and she creates a bunch of these little rectangles to create this effect, which I think really looks really awesome. So today's project is inspired by that. What you're going to need is construction paper in various colors. You're going to need scissors, glue, and a blank piece of paper. I'm going to show you something I did, kind of inspired by her. It's obviously not as good as her. She was very talented, but I wanted to show you kind of the idea. It was inspired by this picture right here. So what I did was I cut out strips of construction paper and made little rectangles out of construction paper. I made them pretty small because her brush strokes were relatively small. So I cut up a bunch of different pieces of different colors of construction paper and created this. I think it looks pretty cool the closer they are together. So the less negative space, like what I like about this yellow out here is that it's very close. Here in the middle there's a lot of white or negative space, and I think for in the future I'm going to make smaller blue pieces so that they can be closer together to kind of have more of an effect like it does up here. So what you want to do is, again, figure out what kind of design you want to make. I knew that I wanted to do something like this right here, but she has a lot of other really cool work. I'm going to link some examples of her various works in the description of this video, so you can check that out before you decide to make anything. So like I said, I wanted my own piece to kind of resemble this. So first you want to look through some of her art, pick what you think is awesome or what looks really cool that you kind of want to do on your own, and then figure out what colors you're going to need, and then gather those colors of construction paper, cut them into little pieces like this, the rectangles like I showed you, and you're going to lay them out on your paper and glue them down, and then you have a final product that looks something like this. I had a lot of fun. I think it would also be really fun to use the construction paper little rectangles to create something like this. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have ever done paint by number, where little spaces have numbers corresponding to paint colors, and you kind of do that. I always thought those were really fun, and it kind of reminded, this project kind of reminded me of doing that. So you can use these little rectangles to create something awesome like this, and I think her work is really beautiful, so I wanted to do a project about her. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you share. You can use hashtag #ILoveArtSphereInc on Instagram or Facebook to share with us, and tune in next Wednesday for the next class on women artists. Thank you guys. Stay safe.